Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
Two law enforcement officers have been arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Teresa Fiveash and Chance Sarchet were arrested for abuse of an older or vulnerable person, inhumanity to a prisoner, and oppression under the color of office. According to the declaration of arrest, Teresa Fiveash and Chance Sarchet are officers with Prisoner Transport Service, which is a transport company used to transport inmates across the country when they are being extradited from one jurisdiction to another. Prisoner Transport Service periodically houses inmates in the Nye County Detention Center as a courtesy to provide their drivers their required break. On August 22nd, the Nye County Sheriff's Office was advised that the Prisoner Transport Service were bringing in 6 inmates for a courtesy hold and that the air conditioning had gone out a couple of hours prior inside the transport van. They say that the inmates were irritable and were requesting to see medical upon arrival. Sarchet told police, according to the report, that the air conditioning had went out in the middle of the night. Fiveash told Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention that the air conditioning had went out the day prior. Upon arrival at the detention center, police say that they found 6 inmates that were visibly flushed, red-faced, and sweaty. They appeared to be suffering from heat-related symptoms. The inmates, they say, were demanding that the Prisoner Transport Service staff tell detention staff what really happened. The 2 officers allegedly told Nye County that the inmates were irritable because it was 100 degrees in the back of the van. The inmates say that they had been riding more than a day inside the vehicle and that it was approximately in excess of 16 hours without the air conditioning working. They say that the officers who were driving stopped at a convenience store and grabbed a bag of ice and threw it in the compartment of the transport vehicle. One of the inmates was taken to a medical clinic in Ventura for seizures. They say that inmate's evaluation of his body temperature was 100.7 degrees. Sarchet reportedly told officers that there was no air for 24 hours inside the van when an interview was conducted, and that he acknowledged that that violated the rights of the inmates, but he had called their corporate office to report the problem and that they did not want him to stop prior to getting to Pahrump. They also say that Sarchet had prior law enforcement experience and acknowledged if he worked for a government agency, this would have never happened. But because it was a private entity, he did not want to compromise his job, so he did as they told him. Fiveash, during her interview, told police that the air had went out inside the truck about 24 hours prior to their arrival. She said that she should have stood up to corporate, but she could not because her husband is sick and she is the only one supporting the family. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies recorded an interview with the operations director of Prisoner Transport System. They said that Fiveash and Sarchet were in violation of the company policy, and if the air conditioner was broken, they should have never driven the inmates around like that. The inmates were restrained in shackles and handcuffs in a cage of the van. That left them with physical limitations that restricted the ability for them to perform the normal activities of daily living. This is what they say made them vulnerable. Both Teresa Fiveash and Chance Sarchet were taken into custody by the Nye County Sheriff's Office.